Today, we build the new city hub. We've built a billionaire city, higher education, expensive transportation, and lastly, we've exploited every industry. So what's next? Today, we're gonna build a new city center, but with a twist. We'll be building my home city, Sydney, Australia, over here. So we'll start off by deleting this. We'll level it off over here. Level it all off down the coast here. Leveling this out. Coming back into the bridge, let's have a look. We could place it in here somewhere. I think around here would be all right. So we have this other pretty cool building right here, and it's called the Opera House. There we go. That's actually starting to look pretty good. So now let's come back to our highways and figure out how we're going to do this. The majority of the time in Sydney, this highway actually follows along this coastline. And then over here, all we got to do is connect the bridge to the new road network. The keys are in, the highway's in, and now we get to take a look at this area here as we start to develop the new downtown area. In real life, this area is actually a ferry stop, but we're actually going to integrate a fishing harbor here. So we're going to place one in here and one over here. So I've made a couple of modifications by putting the highway underground because that's what it kind of looks like. And also looking at the aerial shot, it's looking like we've also got a park in this area here. So using the dirt roads, I'm actually going to try and just draw out a rough area where the park will sit, which is here. And then in terms of everywhere else, we're going to draw out some grid patterns. A massive grid network is in, and a spaghetti of highway entrances and exits into this area. Now, it's time to start zoning in all of our services. What we are going to do is not going to put a hospital too far up that way, but we are going to put a hospital in around here. Coming into fire, we could probably place a lot of these main buildings around the hospital. So we'll put fire in there. We can then put our police in here. And taking a look at education, we could probably just put some like 2 elementary schools in, 2 high schools, one on one side, one on the other side. But in terms of all of our specialty buildings here, we've got a luxury hotel we can take a look at. We've got the transport tower. We've also got Sydney Tower, which is the center point tower of Sydney itself. Absolutely masterpiece. And then just coming along and looking at what else we've got. Servicing services offices, high interest tower. And I think that would be all right, like this. And I think we'll just start zoning up residential and office zoning. And just like that, the zoning is done. And honestly, this is gonna look absolutely awesome. Before everyone starts moving in, we need a district. We're not gonna be calling it Pine Hills, but we are gonna be calling it Sydney. In terms of specialty policies in this area, so let's say we want self-sufficient buildings. Maybe if this is a bit of an IT cluster too. And then coming back into these policies, in terms of city planning, we probably want to look at high-tech housing. We're going to put a heavy traffic ban. We're going to encourage biking. We're going to do small and big business benefactor. Also, one thing I would want to do is in terms of our city-wide policies, looking at this, I also want to boost outside connections. The next thing that we're going to do today is build the park, and we're going to use just generic parks in here. So welcome to beach grounds, and actually it's not really going to be called beach grounds. We're going to call it Botanic Garden. It's honestly going to be quite simple. So we're just going to come here, click on main park gate, chuck that in there. And of course, we're going to need to get these side gates in too. And then it's just going to be a simple connection to all of these entrances. And really, there's no real proper way in actually building this. We're just going to try and just do some funky designs, probably get maybe a couple of park cafes here and maybe over here somewhere, maybe with a bathroom in there too. A couple of bathrooms in around. We've also got a park booth we can probably just chuck in maybe up the front here. And of course, we've still got to wait to unlock some of these other things too. So Botanic Garden, we'll go to info. We'll make sure we are charging the most. And just like that, it's simple, but it should be effective too at the same time. A few months have gone past and this new city center has grown to its full glory. Honestly, so much going on. But you see, a lot of these buildings, not enough buyers, and well, it's looking like we're gonna have to start exporting a lot of stuff. Apart from all this madness of not enough buyers for a lot of these office buildings, check out how much money we're now making. $1.2 million per week. Let's have a look at what we are actually doing in terms of our economy here at the most exploited country. Starting off with residential, we are making $25,000 a week. What about our commercial zonings? Well, we're getting a little bit of extra income from our leisure zonings, which is pretty decent. What about IT cluster? We're looking at about $2,000 there. So realistically, not much. Education, nothing there. What about our transportation? We are making money from our aircraft. Coming into here, you can see in terms of tourism, this is insane, right? $300 from commercial zones, $10,000 from park areas, and $70,000 from public transport. But it's our industries that are doing absolutely insane. And let's take a look. $41,000 forestry, $122,000 farming, $18,000 ore, $1.2 million for our oil industry, and $500,000 from our warehousing. Wait a sec, guys. What's the traffic light in this area? So you're telling me we're making $1.3 million profit and the traffic is like this? Honestly, we got some backups over here, but let's not worry about that too much. Betcha it's also got something to do with our new policy for city planning, boosting our connections. I bet you that's also got something to do with it. Otherwise, guys, Sydney is starting to look fantastic. We're making so much money per week, $50 million in the bank and 70,000 population nearly. Now, of course, we've got a lot of buyer problems. Let's start raising some of our budgets up for our aircraft. We'll raise our budgets up for our boats. We'll raise our budget up for our trains. What are we gonna do next time? Seeing that we built the downtown area, next time though, guys, I want to start taking a look at all the monumentums that are here in the city. All of these. Honestly, this is gonna be insane to take a look at. As well as that, we might as well complete the rest of Sydney, getting this side of the harbour done here. Otherwise, guys, make sure you subscribe down below. And guys, I'll see you all in a new video soon.